Awesome. Fuck Ticketmaster. Fuck Ticketmaster. Let me tell you why. I'm going to take it back to 2015. I was a sophomore leaving the sophomore year of high school, and I was rambunctious, acne-ridden. It was the summer. I was 90% drunk, high, right? To give you a little bit of backstory, I was also going through a parental divorce, so I was able to get away with anything that I wanted to do, including going to Lollapalooza in the middle of summer as a sophomore by myself, with my friend who was equally drunk, Steve. And so we searched on Ticketmaster for a while for tickets to said Lollapalooza for a Saturday ticket. They had big names playing that day. Metallica was up there, and we wanted to go so badly, but Ticketmaster outpriced us by a lot. And the fees added up, and the post-sale fees and all of those things. So we ended up searching around in school. Mind you, I made $7.25 at Panera and was working like 30 hours a week. So didn't really get a ton of money, and most of it was spent on gas or weed or something that would get me through the week. We found a friend at school who gave us tickets for $100 a pop. We said, great. We got in the Trailblazer, we head on down to Chicago. And that night we stayed in somebody's hotel room, cheap, didn't have to pay for it. We wake up the next day, ready to go, super amped. We have our breakfast, Molly, weed, and Adderall. Sucked it down, and we get out to the car, sit down, open the envelope with the tickets inside, and they're for Friday. She sold us Friday tickets. We were so upset. And so we spent the next hour and a half, it was 10:30, the next hour and a half searching for somebody to sell us tickets along Grant Park. And we couldn't find anybody that would sell them to us for less than $500. We asked every single person that we saw. We asked all the people that were selling tickets to go lower. They wouldn't do it. We even asked the people who worked there on the cleaning crew if they knew anybody, and they said no. And so finally, we reverted to Yik Yak. Does anybody remember Yik Yak? Fantastic. The drug dealer's paradise. We found a drug dealer to sell us tickets for $300 a pop, but it was like 20 minutes away. So we started walking, and that's when Steve realized that he lost his wallet. Now, mind you, we had both come down with $600 cash each, which left me with the $600 alone to pay for these tickets, and that would take everything we had. So we decided to not buy the $300 tickets from the drug dealer, go find his wallet, and after another hour of searching, it was like 1 p.m., we couldn't find it. So we were walking back, and the crew member, who was the cleaning crew, stopped us that we had asked earlier, and he was like, hey, I'll get you in for $300 a pop. And we were like, I was immediately looked at him, I was like, 200. And he goes, 250. And I wanted to fucking spit in my hand and shake his hand. And I said, yes. And I slapped the 250 in his hand, and first, he just grabs my friend Steve's and disappears into the crowd. And I was like, where are the wristbands? Like, what are we doing? And he goes around, and this is the most Tom Cruise Mission Impossible shit I've ever seen, like when Tom Cruise disappears into the crowd and then comes back with somebody else's face on. And so Steve comes back wearing one of these bright green fluorescent crew shirts, and that's when I realized we were gonna fucking sneak into Lollapalooza. And I slap the other 250 in his hand, and I then get taken into the crowd by this gentleman, and he hands me under his shirt. He's like, here's your green t-shirt, and I put it on. I'm like, I'm fucking cool. And so I get back to Steve, and the guy doesn't say a word. He just hands us 2 plastic garbage bags and just heads towards the entrance. And Steve and I were sitting there, and we were like, oh my God, are we going to do this? And we just both did it. We acted like we were picking up trash and looking in trash bins, like, yep, everything's good here, past thousands of people. So went straight through the gate, and as we got through security, my heart was like pumping out of my chest. I'm like, there's no way this is going to work. They literally just, yep, go ahead. And so we walked on through, and that's how we got into Lollapalooza for free. Well, for free. And then when we got there, we got in the back, I gave the man a huge hug. He didn't want the hug, but I gave it to him anyways. And we disappeared into the crowd at Lollapalooza and had a fantastic day. Now, we spent $1,200 on one single day at Lollapalooza, but I look at it as a success because I got into Lollapalooza without the help of Ticketmaster, and that is the sweetest revenge.